So you said that faith, your relationship with your family, but also fitness is a part of the rhythm in your life.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Why?
So one has got like physical benefits, right? For me, it's almost a little therapeutic too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's that I feel like that's part of it. And then so it's physical, it's emotional, then there's also a spiritual component for me. And so I'm not saying it has to be this way for everybody, but for me, there's a spiritual component. Everything God's gonna do in my life will require the use of this body.
Come on now, church. Let me take that. Give me something. Let me do something. Yeah, look. Because I truly believe that.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. We got one body.
Yeah.
One body. And I'm here to use this one.
Yes.
For the betterment.
100%.
For the good. And so I love that. I told you before we started, I said, part of what intrigued me was that fitness was such an important part of your life and you embody it.
Yeah.
And I say that because when we stand in front of especially our people, right? I mean, people of color, Black people in particular, all the things that affect us.
Yeah.
And you're in a leadership position.
Sure.
You're an example.
Yeah.
You're an example.
Brandi, I'm getting ready to say something. I have never said this in a public setting before.
Okay. We here for it.
We are here. So let's go here.
Now,
yes.
So what's up?
This is another reason I've never said it out loud. Is because I grew up in church, right? And there was always, this is not everybody's experience, mine, such a disproportionate number of women and men.
Yes. Yes.
Got me?
I grew up Baptist all the way.
Okay, yeah. So it was like
church all day, every day.
It was like, yeah. And I would see it. I'm not going to say specifically, but I would see, like, when I was growing up, other religious movements where the men were put together. They were disciplined, they were well spoken, they were well dressed. And I, as a young man, admired that.
Absolutely.
And was drawn at least to that part of what I saw more than what I was seeing in spaces, in Christian spaces.
Yeah.
And that triggered something for me that I say, when I'm a spiritual leader, I want to stand up and I want to look like discipline. Yeah. I want to have the impact on men that other group had on me and I don't see this happening regularly in Christian spaces. Yes. So I've never said that out loud, and I do think, like, I've got this group now that I'm taking through, we call them Made Men. So it's a 12-session basic training program that we take them through, and it's rigorous. You can only miss one. You miss more than one, you're out. And it's really comprehensive development. It's finances, it's health, it's creating a mission statement for your family, a financial vision statement for your financial future, all these kinds of things. We had over 2,000 men sign up for this program. And when it's all said and done, we'll probably run 1,000, 1,500 off. We'll probably finish with about 500. Yeah. But I think I'm not saying it's the only reason, but I see the fruit of our influence with men. Yes, yes. In our ministries, in our companies, and in all of these things that we're doing. And I believe that at least my attempt to be disciplined in that area and present something respectable to them has something to do with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of my favorite books is A Course in Miracles. And I love that because if you get nothing else of the book, it says we are called to be demonstrators.
Huge.
We're called to be demonstratrators.
Yeah.
And so when people
I'm taking that one too now.
I'm giving you all the stuff.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to be in the seminar.
So, yes, so I am a receipt. I'm taking that one and then demonstrators. Okay.
But that's really where the receipt comes from. When you break it down in layman's terms, to be a demonstrator, I got the receipts. Yeah. And that's how we are supposed to look. Yeah. We are supposed to look like the embodiment of God on the planet. Yeah. And so because of that, the discipline that we have in our lives, it shows up on us. We wear it. Yeah. And so I love that. And I think that more people have to take that charge, especially with the responsibility of pastoring multi-regional, multiple churches, all the multi stuff you do,
complicated.
Yeah. So So then, what's your favorite thing to train? Since I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with that question now.
Well, my least favorite thing to train, you already know this, is every man's least favorite thing to train is legs. Listen, I need somebody to lay hands on me doing legs. But I probably, this is weird. I probably like shoulders, training shoulders the best now, like recently.
Yeah.
I think early on, every man want to train chest.
Right? Listen.
But now that I see what the shoulders do aesthetically, and the way it makes the frame,
all your clothes lay better, guys. You know this?
Yeah, listen. Traps and all that. So now I'm on the shoulders thing.
Listen, so I'm excited about that because I go to another church in Atlanta with Pastor Jamal Bryant, who's a friend of yours, and that is part of, I think, the responsibility that he's put on his own congregation about fitness. And I think that with more people, more men in your position to do that, I think it creates that domino effect for so many people in our community, because then they start to see, well, if he can do it, I can do it.
Facts.
Well, let me try to, let me work show. Somebody's going to be out here working shoulders today. I already feel it in my spirit. Okay. So we're coming up to the end. We want you guys to make sure you are subscribing to the Vault Village. Make sure you are subscribing, turn on your notifications so you do not miss anything that we have coming up. So we're going to do some off the beaten path questions.
Okay.
So our audience always loves to know what people are reading. So you can either say what you're reading or a book that's changed your life and why.
Yeah. So I'm going to say a book that changed my life was a book called, and one of my mentors gave it to me, High Performance Habits.
High Performance Habits.
Yeah, it's a book by a guy named Brandi Harvey, and he talks about the 6 habits of people that are high performers. And for him, that's not just people who have high standard of living, it's people who have a high quality of life, who are not just reaching their financial and professional goals, but they're reaching their emotional goals too, like the goals they have for their souls. So that was a book that just kind of revolutionized my life in terms of the power of habit and the power of certain habits. Yep, high performance habits.
Okay, so a living person you want to have dinner with?
See, I got to think about the living. Now, the dead, it would be Miles Monroe.
Miles Monroe.
It would be Miles Monroe, of someone who's passed on. Living, let me see. This is about to be really weird for a pastor to say who I'm about to say.
No, it's not. And I want you to, we are not dealing in the weird of anything.
Yeah, I would want to have dinner with Jay-Z.
Yes. First of all, what they talk about, $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z, which one would you do? I'm doing dinner with Jay-Z.
I'm doing, because the questions I'm going to ask, I'm gonna get the money. Right? After that dinner, I'm going to go get the money. Yeah. But it would definitely be Jay-Z. And I want to talk to him about 2 things primarily. One, about long-term relevance. Because he's been in the game a while.
long time.
Yeah. He is still, like, he could tour today if he wanted to, right?
Just did a show in Paris.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So long-term relevance, because I want to be impacting people a long time. And then the second, I would want him to share with me, like, okay, I need to know the top 3 things you learned in business.
Yeah.
The rooms he's been in, the shoulders that he's had the opportunity to rub. What are the top 3 things that you've learned, so I could take that and kind of apply that to my life and my companies?
I love that. I don't think that that's weird for a pastor, though.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, some people might think so, but that's my answer.
I don't think it's weird. Yeah. I think high level people want to sit down with high level people, no matter what genre they're in.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. So what advice? And I feel like I might, be tapped in on this one. What advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
I couldn't afford it at 20. One thing I'll tell myself is get a therapist and get a coach.
Yeah.
I would have said that proactively.
I felt like you were going there.
Yeah. So that way, if I could afford it, my 20-year-old self could not afford that though. But besides that, I would probably tell myself, I'll be like, Dharius, pace yourself. You're going to get there.
Yeah.
And if you pace yourself, you're going to get there. You're going to reach your goal without destroying your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can get you can get there without a 2014 experience.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't start talking about that until recently. Like what happened to me in 2014.
I saw that.
Yeah, so it took years before I went public with that.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, other people need to hear this that have gone through it, and I want other people to hear it so that they don't have to go through that.
But that's the thing that made me want to sit down with you even more, was because of the 2014 when I saw you talking about that.
Wow.
Because I feel as though your position has afforded you the opportunity to share how you got to it, and because you're here, I want to know how, because I know it wasn't easy.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't easy.
No, it's insightful.
Yeah, you've experienced some things. Y'all, I hope y'all had y'all notebooks out taking notes, because Dr. Daniels was dropping some gems over here at Vault. I want you to get ready for the next episode, because we got more in store. But here's what I need you to do. I need you to like, I need you to comment, I need you to subscribe so you know everything that's happening in the Vault Village. Until next time, y'all, peace.